Malibu, California. It's February, and it's the day before classes start. I was invited to go for a hike with my group of friends at the time, who I met through the cult I grew up in. But let's save that for another story. Jolene, who can't swim, Sarah, one of the most athletic people I know, my sister's friend Karen, I think her name is all I need to say about her, and myself, a person who is deathly afraid of heights. We take a 45-minute drive from Long Beach, excited to go to Malibu Creek State Park. We park after minutes of jamming to old school K-pop, and then we start walking, following a trail that we don't know the destination of, but the weather is nice, warm with a cool breeze. It's been 20 minutes. We reach a mile. Another 20 passes, another mile. I start getting anxious about the walk back. We walked on a fallen tree in order to get to the other side of the trail, which was the initial foundation of my anxiety. We got to the end, or so we thought. It was an old film set from some old obscure movie from the 80s. We take our pictures with a smile on our faces. We banter and then start talking about how we are all dreading the walk back, so we improvise. To save us a mile or two, we follow the river based on the map that we took from the parking lot. We started to take this route we made up based on the map, and it looked a lot shorter than the hike we took to get there. I'm anxious but confident going through this route. We met a couple beside us who were also going off trail, and we soon followed. They gave us assurance we needed to know that there was a way back. We jumped from a boulder, and one that we couldn't climb back from, knowing that there's no getting up from where we jumped. The couple then decided to not jump the boulder because the boyfriend did not think it was safe. However, for us, we thought it was too late. We walked through marsh following the water. At this point, there was no trail. We walked directly straight through these steep hills sideways, and it felt like we were walking miles, but in reality, we had made barely any progress. We walked a bit more through the marsh, not realizing what was ahead of us. Many more miles of hills and marsh, eventually through streams and rivers. I start getting super anxious and have less stability within each step. Jolene is also borderline freaking out. Sarah's having the time of her life, and Karen is constantly saying prayers aloud that we would make it out of here safely. Then we come across a part of the river where the current could have been straight from Niagara Falls. We have no choice but to cross it by jumping from one boulder to the other, and to the other. Jolene starts crying. Sarah takes the lead and makes it. It's my turn, and I make it. So does Jolene and Karen. The next jump was a larger gap. It was Sarah's turn again. She slips the jump, has her foot on the boulder she jumped to, trips and lands on her front side. We make sure she's okay, and then it was my turn next. It was Karen's. We both make it. Jolene needs both mental and physical help, so Sarah and I tried our best to stay positive and push her to jump. But then she starts sobbing. We take a break. Jolene eventually jumps, and I immediately grab her hand, and she makes it. After doing that again for another 2 times, we see the first people we have encountered in the last 3 hours. We scream as if we were stuck out there for weeks. We thought the worst was behind us, but we realized we saw the people wearing climbing gear, and we were not equipped to climb anything. The last boulder jump occurred after scurrying under a little cut in this huge boulder, a piece of a mountain. But this time it was all or nothing. If we fell, we would have either died or got severely injured. Sarah jumps and makes it. Karen and Jolene follow. I look down, become frozen, and I start freaking out, hyperventilating. I look into Sarah's eyes, and then I knew I'd be fine. I jumped with my eyes closed, and I made it. We climb down the rocks and encounter one more obstacle before finding the shore. We have to horizontally rock climb so we don't touch the water, and this water was deep. This was more of a physical test rather than mental. Sarah makes it after 30 minutes. Karen makes it with help of another rock climber that we had met. I fall into the water. However, I'm lucky. I was a lifeguard 2 years ago, so I swam to shore. Jolene was stuck. We waited 30 minutes as the sun was setting, and I offered to help, but we knew we had to call professionals with equipment so we could prevent something more dangerous to escalate. I called 911 and rescue came. A certified lifeguard at the time, who was also a firefighter, swam through the body of water to get Jolene with a life vest and swam her across the pond. We made it. We get to the car in silence and swore to never speak about this to anyone. And I think Karen just didn't want me to tell my sister. End of story.